So let's talk about printing for a second. Printing is a hard topic to cover. It's a crowd pleaser. Everybody likes to talk about printing and getting their prints done. We're talking about digital output to film. Okay. The first thing I do is stay away from home-based printing altogether. Those fancy printers, stay away from them. I do, but feel free to go out and buy a printer and all that good stuff. You're probably going to anyway, or you probably already own one. It's just for me, I don't use home-based printing unless it's wide format. So an Epson 9800, I love that printer only because it prints very big and you get nice color out of it. It's a $4,000 printer though, but it's because it's wide format. Other than that, I stay away from home-based printing. I look for a vendor that prints on matte paper. Okay, that's very important. And I also try to stay local. Something in a small town might be hard to stay local, so you might have to go on the internet. As far as places to go on the internet, shop around. I'm lucky enough to have a home-based vendor, so I kind of stick with them. I don't do a whole lot of internet printing because I have no control over what kind of paper they use. So matte-based paper, I found Sam's Clubs that work really well, and you have to go in their store to actually get it printed. So if you don't have a Sam's Club in your area, that's one thing. But find a internet-based printer that uses matte paper. The next thing you do is find out what color profile they're using. Okay, and to do that, let me show you what a color profile is. In Photoshop, go Edit Assign Profile and hit OK. Watch what happens during post-processing. Post-processing occurs anytime it's out of the camera. So this picture is out of the camera and I'm post-processing it. So here I'm going to change it to this, sRGB. Notice the color just got desaturated. Okay. So never assign a new profile in post-processing. Always assign it inside the camera before you even shoot it. So this is what you do to find a good vendor. You get your digital camera. You look in the manual to how you change it from RGB to sRGB. Most cameras are allowed to do this. Or at least you find out what it shoots in, RGB or sRGB. You can open it up in Photoshop and assign profile, and the bottommost one is what it's at. Okay? So you can shoot a picture using sRGB and one using RGB. You open those up in Photoshop, and up at the top you write RGB or sRGB. So you have two files. You take them to your vendor. You get them printed. The one that looks desaturated is the one you don't use. So if the sRGB looks desaturated, it's because your vendor is using sRGB or RGB. So whatever's desaturated, that's the color profile that you do not use for that vendor. You can ask them, but in most cases I found out they are chemically unaware of what's going on to begin with. So it's really hard to get that information out of some vendors. I always stay away from smaller prints, and I always stay towards 11 by 17 or 12 by 18. Okay, depending on what camera I'm using. All right, there we go. That is my print workflow as far as going to vendors, and hopefully that helps you. I know I don't have a whole lot of visual aids because I would have to sit down with you and show you how to change that on the camera, where to go, where to shop. That stuff's really hard to show you via the internet or video. So hopefully that helps you out with your prints. Enjoy. Please move on to the next video.